When we mention guns, it often sparks an instant reaction.
People who own guns think that somebody may be trying to take away their rights. There are those who are against firearms and many people who support responsible ownership. Wink News anchor Corey Lazar sat down with one grieving family who's on a mission to create a new national database that would holster gun ownership for some people.
Happy birthday. Thanks, Mama.
Turning 21 years old, a milestone many of us remember.
Okay, I made my wish.
For Haley Barrick, that birthday wish was her last.
She was mommy's girl, always followed me around everywhere, always wanted me to hold her, never wanted anybody else to hold her.
Haley's mother, Larissa Strong, now only has memories of her daughter.
She was a funny girl. She had the biggest blue eyes.
The extremely smart and full of life 21-year-old also suffered mentally. Haley was able to buy a gun and shot herself days after her release from a mental health hospital in South Dakota. She passed a criminal background check, but there's no holding period to buy a weapon in South Dakota.
48 hours after she got out, she had purchased a gun, and within 48 hours of that, she shot herself in her Jeep where her discharge papers were sitting on her dash, and her blood is all over them. With having a diagnosed mental illness, she's on antipsychotics, she's on anti-anxiety, she's on anti-depression medicine, all of it. And she could walk into the gun store and affidavit style check, no, I don't have any mental illness, sign the affidavit, pay $310.08 and go home and plan to kill herself.
Now I'm going to pause the story right here because you may be thinking this family wants all guns taken away, casting a wide net and infringe on your Second Amendment right. But they own firearms. But they also want Haley's legacy to stop the sale of a gun to someone with a mental illness.
Everybody that I know, all of our friends that we know that have guns, they don't have an issue with it.
Carla Masurley is Haley's heartbroken grandmother. She lives in Cape Coral, and her mission now is to get a federal database created, one that is checked before someone buys a gun.
There has to be a database that puts mental health professionals right on the line where they're supposed to be. If they know somebody is getting treatment for mental health issues and they know that they've been admitted to a mental health facility, they should be reporting a name, a date of birth, and just 4 to 6 digits of their social security number. And that database can be restricted to, only facilities that are licensed by the ATF to sell firearms.
None of the major mental health intake hospitals in Southwest Florida would do an interview with us for this story. It would partially fall on them to input the data into a database that this family believes would have prevented Haley from buying a gun and taking her life. They also consider what else could have gone wrong.
My daughter could have very easily been angry at everybody else who wasn't depressed, everybody else who wasn't upset, everybody else who doesn't have borderline personality disorder, everyone else who is not on antipsychotics, anybody else who has a normal life that she wanted. She could have gotten that gun, gone to a school, a daycare, a parking lot, a mall, anywhere, an airport, and shot a lot of people. Then there would be a different discussion that's happening right now.
A very different discussion. Corey Lazar, Wink News.
And tonight on Wink News at 7, Corey looks into the gun buying process in Florida, how people suffering mentally are getting around it, and the family's call to our representatives in Congress.